Welcome to Hardback Life. It's time for stories, sass, and strong opinions. Let's turn the page. I'm Cassie, and I'm alone again today. As you can see or hear, Becca is a very busy lady. She's being a badass. She's finishing grad school. This is her last semester. She's told you guys a little bit about that. But she is also a mom and a wife and a friend and a daughter and so many other things. So she needs a little bit of time. She has some big tests coming up. She's visiting her in-laws. So we are giving her a little bit of a break. But we haven't posted for a few weeks because of the holidays. So we did want to try and bring you guys something. So here I am by myself with some new lighting also. So I don't know. Let me know if that's weird. I do hate recording alone because when me and Becca are recording, it kind of cuts our screen. So our screens are smaller, right? So you can't see this whole blank wall behind me. But when I'm by myself, it does the whole screen. And I have nothing over there anymore. Not that I think I ever did. At one point, I had old Disney posters. But when I revamped the room to be like my reading room, I got rid of them. So I don't know. I have the map of Printheon over there. Maybe I'll have to move it to this side. But again, if when we're recording together, which is most, if not all the time, you can't see it. So it doesn't really matter. I don't know. Should I rearrange all my art to just move it? I'll have to try and figure that out, I guess. You can come on this adventure with me. So it's been a while. Like I said, we didn't record anything for the holidays. Let's see. Any new things for both of us. I can give you some updates on Becca because even though you're not seeing her, I still talk to her all day, every day. So I can still update you. Don't worry. I don't know. We both had really nice holidays. She had a wedding over like the holidays as well, which was very beautiful. Let's see. My like big update for reading wise, I guess I don't really have like that big of an update any otherwise, but is that I am trying to give audiobooks a fair shot for my New Year's resolution. I tried it when I was young and I hated it, but had to do a book report and we were driving to Florida. So my mom got me, it was a Nancy Drew cassette tape. We got it from Cracker Barrel, but that was the first time I ever tried an audiobook, and I've tried it like sporadically. I've never really finished them. I've always ended up getting hard copies of them to finish, but I'm on my 4th of 2026 already. I read a novella, listened to, whatever you want to call it, a novella by Frida McFadden, and I didn't look at the about or the summary. You guys know I like to go in blind, and it's Frida, so I was like, I figured I knew what to expect. No, it was all satire. And at first I was like, this is like funnier of her because she's like calling out, she like mentioned herself in the writing and how the character was reading a Frida McFadden book. And then like some other little like breaking the fourth wall things I thought were interesting. But then by the end I was like, okay, this is a joke. But it was short and it was fine. I read or again listened to Sociopath. That was one Sarah recommended on the mental health episode. I don't know how I feel about it. I wrote on Goodreads. I don't know if I don't understand enough about psychopathy to really grasp her as a person. So maybe that's why I don't really necessarily like her. Or it's just because I don't like her. And I do lean towards the former, that I just am not aware enough. I don't have enough understanding. But I didn't love her. But it was still a good read. So I do recommend it. Sarah also recommends it. Then I read The Wife Upstairs, loved it. It was a take on Jane Eyre, and I loved it. You guys know I love Jane Eyre, so I loved that. And then now I'm reading The House My Mother Built, I think it's called, by Sherry Frankie, Ruby Frankie's oldest daughter. You're a beautiful human being. I'm so sorry for all you and your siblings have been through. Ruby, Kevin, and Jody Hildebrandt. Fuck you guys, though. I might take that out. I don't know. That was really aggressive. I also thinking like just reading what she's been through, and then I haven't gotten to when her siblings get out yet, but how horrible that all must have been. Think about Jody's own kids. They were estranged for her way before the Frankies came into the picture, and I just wonder like what they went through as children also. I don't think either of them have ever come out and said, and it's their story, so they don't ever have to, but I do just feel horrible for them that, this is what she did to somebody else's children, to other people's relationships. What would she have done to her own? I can't even fathom that. I can't. Really well written so far. I mean, enjoying it in the sense that I'm glad she gets to tell her story and gets to get all of this out and speak her piece and her truth. hate it because it's horrible, and what these adults did to these children are horrible. But I am glad that she's getting her own space to tell her truth. So that's kind of it for me. The audiobooks. It's been hard to balance now. So if you're an audiobook reader and a physical or Kindle book reader and you balance both, I need to know how. I think doing the nonfiction audiobook is going to be the best option, and then reading a fiction or fantasy on my Kindle or hard, because when I read The Wife Upstairs, I just sat there with my headphones. I couldn't stop. But like with the nonfiction, it's not a story. I mean, it is because it's their story, you know, but it's like a whole life. So it's okay to take a pause and go to the book. Physically on Kindle, I'm about to start Broken Country. That's our book club book for the month. And then I started a book club at work, and I have to get still and read Reese Witherspoon's new book, Gone Before Goodbye, I think it's called. She co-wrote it with somebody else. That was our first recommendation, and I started it, but I didn't want to give the first recommendation because you guys know me. It would have been like ACOTAR. I know that's not everybody's like cup of tea. So I tried to be respectful, and I let other people give me recommendations. Oh, somebody recommended Matt Haig, Midnight Library, I think it's called, and I vetoed that immediately. Matt Haig will never enter a book club that I'm in ever again. Sorry, Maddie. I love you, but I cannot read another one of his books. Maddie recommended his first book to our book club. So that's kind of all I got for you guys, like as far as our updates go. Becca was reading, I'm going to say it wrong because I have Amarantha in my mind from ACOTAR. That actually might be what it's called. It's like a dark romantasy, dark fantasy. She was reading that, but she did have to take a break because apparently it's pretty dark. She's enjoying it, but she's also a mood reader. I mean, she doesn't like to admit that, but she has 8 books going at once. She's a mood reader to her core. So she picked up an Abby Jimenez book, and I don't know the name. She didn't tell me the name, but I do know she's reading. And then she was also bouncing back and forth from Disney adults to those. So she says she's not a mood reader, guys, but I can't think of a better definition of a mood reader, to be honest with you. Yeah, so that's about all the updates we have. We were going to do an episode where we talked about like our top books, our top 5 from 2025. If you follow our Instagram, we posted our top 12 of 2025, and it was our top for each month. So we were going to just kind of pick our top 5, didn't matter what month, whatever. I'm still going to do that. So I'm going to say my top 5. We'll talk a little bit about each, and then I'm going to tell you what Becca's top 12 were, and then I'm going to guess what her top 5 would have been based on how much we talked about them and what she said about them. And I'll kind of explain as I go. Like that, you know how we do a game every episode? That'll be my version of this game because there's no other game to really play by myself. So we're going to try that. All right. I did try and put mine in order, top 5 in order, but I'm going to work my way up. So I'm going to start at number 5. I didn't write the authors down. I probably should have, right? I mean, I know 3 of the authors. I know 4 of the authors off the top of my head. 1 I don't know how to pronounce, so I'd have to look up. So maybe I should look up the authors really quick while we're chatting. So my first, number 5, like I said, I'm in backwards order, countdown, if you will. We actually did an episode on this one. I will argue that I also think it's going to be in Becca's top 5 because she talked so highly of it. That's why I ended up picking it up. So I will argue that it's definitely on Becca's. It is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. Like I said, we've done a whole episode. I won't say too much on this one, but it's just an interesting, I just thought it was a very unique and interesting idea. A lot of books, you know, especially a lot of romances, they kind of follow the same scripts, and I'm fine with them because I read them. So I'm not hating on anything. But sometimes it's like you read one, you've read them all type of thing. And I feel like Phantasma was kind of a really interesting take and mix of maybe some others and done in a new way. It's basically, again, we've done a whole episode. I'll keep this one short and sweet. She is a necromancer. Ophelia is her name. Her mother passes away in the first page, basically. And the mother is the family necromancer. So then the power gets passed down to Ophelia, and her little sister Genevieve doesn't get power, and she doesn't want power. But she runs away to enter this competition run by devils called Phantasma because she knows they need money because her mom and Genevieve kept from Ophelia that they were in debt. So she knew they needed money. She ran away to this game called Phantasma. Ophelia finds her diary and was like, why would she do this? We know we shouldn't interact with devils. We know that nothing good can come of this. So she enters the games also, which is funny because of how upset she is about it, but then it enters the game anyway to find her and instantly connects with this. He's not a ghost, technically. He's I did this in the episode too. Phantom, because dating Phantom. He's a phantom. His name is Blackwell. I hated the name. That was probably my biggest gripe throughout it, is I hated the name. But he kind of instantly feels drawn to Ophelia. And he tries to help her multiple times until she makes this deal with him. And the competition is the 7 deadly sins or layers of hell, however you want to look at it. And you have to get through each layer. And when you beat the final layer and everybody else is gone or dead, because people die in this, it's like the Hunger Games, but literally in hell. Once you get to the end, you meet the Prince of Devils and you get one wish. I'm not going to say anymore. I won't give away who won, anything like that. Just that part of it. I really liked it. Like I said, it was very different. I know I alluded to Hunger Games and it kind of is like that, but it does have so many unique tastes. Like each level is based on a sin. So lust, greed, gluttony. Greed and gluttony are the same? I don't know. It's been a while since I read about sins in general, but also this book. It's been a few months. And I just really enjoyed it. I really liked the characters, and Ophelia's growth, I think, was done so well. People, when I did my review, were not thrilled with the kind of character she was and the growth that she had, but I think it worked. I think where she started and the path that she took inside of the competition, inside of the mansion, I think it was perfect. I really enjoyed it. I don't really have anything other than like a couple like little, like I didn't like Ophi. That's what Genevieve called Ophelia. I didn't like that name. I didn't like the name Blackwell. But other than that, like those are pretty small peas to pick. I really enjoyed this book. So that's my number 5. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up putting that on Becca's. So just number 4. I talked about this one a lot. Becca has not read it. Becca will not read it. I have convinced other friends to read it. Maddie, shout out. Manacled by, and this is the name I'm gonna mess up and I feel horrible, but you guys know me, I'm not good at pronouncing names. Even in fantasy, like this is a real name. Even in I can't pronounce them. I can't, and I feel horrible. Her name is, hold on, Senlin Yi or Senlin Yu. It's either Senlin Yu or Senlin, I think it's Senlin Yu. It's Senlinyu. Senlin Yu. Guys, couldn't put it down. It was thick. It could easily been 3 books, but it was written as fan fiction. Let me start over. I've explained this, but it's okay. I'll just have to explain it again. It's Harry Potter fan fiction of if the good side lost the war, if Harry Potter lost the war. But most of what happened in the series is canon up until book 6. That's when it starts to change what happened in the series. And the way it changes, and I'm trying really hard not to give spoilers because I love these books so much that I really think you should read them. I really do. So the way that they lost was at the beginning of year 6. Instead of Draco taking all year to kill Dumbledore, he killed him within like the first month of school. So he never got to tell Harry Potter about the Horcruxes. They never got to figure out how to get rid of them. Never got to figure out how many there were. So, like, that's a huge deficit to that side. And also, a whole extra year without Dumbledore really didn't help because he really is the catalyst to everything, you know? So, that's kind of where it changes. So, it's canon. Year 1 through 5 is canon. And I loved, I'm so passionate. I love this one so much that I'm like bouncing around. But it's a fan fiction of how Draco and Hermione end up together. So, one of my favorite things that kept coming up was when in book 3, she punched Draco in the face and they kept joking about it. And that was my favorite. I loved it. I loved that moment in book 3. And I loved every time they joked about it in Manacled. I think the author did a really good job of honoring the writing and honoring the magic system. And again, the canon up until when she changed it. It's fan fiction. Of course, things are going to change a little bit, but keeping the fan base very happy. I really have nothing bad to say. Like I said, there is a way to split it, like in my mind. If you are intimidated by how long it is, this is how I'm trying to get my one friend Angie to read it. You can break it into 3 different books easily. So if you needed to like take a break in between. The first chunk is Hermione can't remember anything. So that would be like the first book. The second book would be part 2, where she's having all of these flashbacks. It's like 37 chapters, so that could be a whole book. And then the last part, book 3, would be from when she remembers on and how she like now moves forward. So if you're intimidated by how big it is, which is fair, and also what she said, you can easily break it into those 3 chunks and not feel like you're chopping up the story at all. That would be my suggestion. If you're wanting to read it, but the size is a lot, or you just don't want to commit to all of it at once, I think that's a really good way to do it. It destroyed me and I loved it. And I have nothing negative to say about it. I'm trying to think of something because nothing is perfect, but this book was perfect. It was. Yeah, I cried. It was sad. There were sad things for sure. Things that you definitely didn't want to see these characters have to go through, but well worth it for what this book does. I love it. So if you haven't, I know that it's officially put out as Alchemized. I do not plan on reading that, unfortunately. Everything's different because you can't publish fan fiction. So the characters are different, the magic system is different, the worlds are different, and I'm really here for Harry Potter. I am not a big fan fiction. I've never really read a ton of it. Maybe when I was younger. I remember reading a lot of Harry Potter fan fiction as 8th grade, maybe, but I never really kept up with it. So I don't feel the need to enter a whole new world system. The only thing I'm struggling with about that, though, is there definitely could be another book based on a character towards the end. And if that does happen, it'll have to be based only on the alchemized characters at this point, I think, because now it is a published work. So that would be disappointing. And I guess I struggle. Maybe I would read the second one without reading Alchemized, but I have heard that the magic system's pretty intense and pretty hefty. So I don't know if I'd be able to just jump into the second one without reading the first. But I don't feel the need to read. I know the story now. So I know once I figure out who the characters are, I know what's happening, So I don't necessarily know if I feel the need to read it, but we'll see. Ask me if there's ever a second book, I guess. I think there could be. And I really enjoyed Sen Lin Yu's writing, so I'm not opposed to reading more by her. I just don't know if I'll do it outside of the Harry Potter world. Again, ask me if there's ever a second. I'm very easily peer pressured into books. All right, that was my number 4. My number 3 is the Fourth Wing series. But I had a feeling when I was writing these, Becca would want me to pick one book specifically because I read the whole series this year. So I picked Onyx Storm, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because I loved all 3 books. They all got 5 stars, so I could have picked any of them. Professor Zayden. Professor Zayden got me. He won. That book won for me. He outranked every other version of himself in that book, and I just loved him. So that's kind of why. And I also really like Violet. She's been, if you've read the series, coming into her own, understanding her power, that she really does mean a lot to this world as far as what she can do. And in the 3rd book, I think she owns that way more than she has. She goes, it's been a while, guys, so I don't know all the groups of names, but the council, she wants to go on a mission. So she needs the council to approve the mission and the team. And she says to them, because they were denying everything, and she says, you need me. I don't need you. I can leave. You need me to bring back the information. And she really realized how important she was. They couldn't do anything without her. And I loved that. That was such a good moment for her. I loved it. So both for Professor Zayden and for Violet's growth in this book. I also tore me apart, aside from the professor aspect of everything else he was going through in this book, all of the really dark changes he was going through, but the relationship. That's Rebecca Yarros in this series. I've not read her other books. I've heard great things. The Last Letter, I think most of my book club read and sent pictures of them crying. So I haven't read them, but I've heard great things. And I think her writing she builds really strong and fun relationships between the characters, and I love that. Becca and I have said before, character relationship building and character development is really important to both of us when we're rating books. And Rebecca Yarros always gets points for me from that. She does a really good job. Her and Sarah J. Maas, both of them. They do a really good job of building their characters and then these found families that they get. I love it. But then it also makes when anything bad happens to these found families devastating. Some people don't have social media, I guess, so I can't really assume. But if you have been following anything, Rebecca has said somebody doesn't make it out, basically. And people are making memes of if it's Riddick. And I truly hope it's not Riddick because I love him. But people are like, if it's Riddick, we riot. We're done. We won't read this anymore. And there's just some really funny memes. If you have any social media, you should look at them. They're pretty funny. People are People give me some good chuckles. So I really hope it's not Riddick, but I also hope it's not Ree. I really hope it's not anybody. I'm really sad about it. I don't know if I should say my guess. I think I'm just going to, without saying what I think it is and everything, I think Brennan is the next to go. I think Brennan. I don't think there was enough as an older brother issue taken with Xaden's transformation. If that makes sense? Without giving anything away. And I think it might be Brennan, which I'm also sad about because she just got him back. But with what was said towards the end of Onyx Storm, and Rebecca Yarros said pay attention to who's not in, who's not around towards the end of the book, I guess. I also think it could be Bodhi. I think Garrick was mentioned in the end. I don't think Bodhi was. But my professional opinion is that it is Brennan. And that is really sad. But that's my guess. Just why not, Just wreck Violet's world a little bit more. And that's what I feel like it'll be. Okay. I don't think you guys will be surprised by my next two, my top 2 series. I also am not sure you're surprised by any of these because we've talked about all of them. So my next, number 2, again, it is a series, but I did pick one in the series specifically. It is the Crescent City series. Absolutely obsessed. I think this is the most underrated series I have read. I don't know why I see the hate that I see for this series. I cannot comprehend it. I don't get it. I mean, you saw me and Becca talk about the first one. I cannot comprehend a single bad word against these series. I love the world building. I love the characters. I love the relationships. I love it all. I love it all. So I cannot understand a single bad thing being said. I just cannot. Specifically, though, if you want me to pick one of the books, it is House of Flame and Shadow, the third one. I loved the bounce around between. And again, I'm really trying not to say anything because that is a new one. I think that one actually did come out this year. So I really don't want to give too much away with this. It's a spoiler-free episode. But I loved the back and forth. I loved the connections. Here for it. You know who I didn't like in the third book, though? Therion, the merman one. He pissed me off. He was really annoying and whiny. Everybody else I still enjoyed, though. Yeah, I loved the third one. The third one is the reason I read it because I knew what was I didn't know to the extent. I did not know to the extent, but I knew what was coming. So that is the reason I read the series to begin with because you guys know how obsessed I am with the other one, the other thing. So I committed for that. And it was well worth it, let me tell you. And I think there's way more to come. I know she's not done with Crescent City based on 1, I'm pretty sure she said it, and 2, this is not an ending. I guess technically it could end. Becca said she'd be happy with that ending. I would not. Nope. Gotta have more, sorry. And I'm wondering if, I don't know, I saw a lot of posts after reading the third Crescent City. Or no, sorry, after SJM announced that she finished ACOTAR 6 or 6 through 8, whatever, that you have to read Crescent City and Throne of Glass also. I have already read them. I had already read them by the time this announcement was made, but I'm excited. I don't know how they know that, but I'm excited. So I definitely see why they said that. From having read all 3 series, specifically Throne of Glass and Crescent City, I do get it. I hope they're right because I'm here for it. I'm here for needing everything involved. Like I said, that's kind of why I went to Crescent City, but I'm excited. I'm excited for more ACOTAR, but I'm excited. I told you guys, Bryce is my favorite FMC. Not just SJM, but everybody. Like any fantasy FMC that I've read. I really, really enjoy her as a character. I enjoy her growth. I just love her. So I'm excited for more of her, but also more of other characters that it could pull in without giving too much away. I hope. I don't know. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that. I know a lot of people don't like Crescent City. And all I can say is I said it to Becca. I said it to my friend Angie, who is now saying that it's all worth it. Just hold on. If you're not into the intense world building, as Becca has said, that it's a lot in book 1. Hold on. Keep going. It is worth it. I promise. I would read you my friend's text messages if I could. I'm not going to do that because I didn't ask her and I don't. That's rude. But it is worth it. I promise. Just keep going. And if you haven't read it yet, do it. Do it. I'm trying to talk my sister into reading it. A lot of people don't like that it's more modern. I mean, it's still a fantasy world, so I struggle with calling it modern because it's not a real world. But it has cameras and phones and televisions, things like that. So I remember I was reading it on my Kindle, and I had gotten it from Libby. And I read it, and the first page or two said something about a security camera and a cell phone. And I was like, am I reading the right book? And I went back out to my Kindle library and I looked at it and I was like, oh, yeah, this is it. This is the right book. And I went back in. I do find it interesting to have the modern things thrown in there. I don't know if I like it more or less or the same. I just find it interesting. It did make me wonder when, again, it's a whole other fantasy dimension, but when ACOTAR took place. Because yes, they have powers, but they don't have security cameras. They don't have phones. And is it just because it's a whole other dimension? Is it because it's the past? It did make me interested in that. Not enough to create like a drift for me. I don't care. I still enjoy all of it. But it did make me think about that a little bit more. Same with Throne of Glass, because it's all SJM. That's why. If there is any, not mentioned, but if there is any significance, I guess, to it or what it is, I would think if I had to guess, but I'm not even going to guess because I, again, don't want to give anything away. And I feel like the more I talk about all three of them together, the more I'm going to end up giving away. So I probably shouldn't and just keep going. So I'm going to do that. So my number one should surprise absolutely nobody. Maybe for the fact that I only read it this year, it might surprise you, but that it is my number one should not be surprising. And that is the whole series of ACOTAR. Guys, I only read that book in January. ACOTAR has only been in my life for 1 year. And it is my entire personality. It is all I have left. It is all that is left of me. That's it. ACOTAR. Now, and I've said this before, my favorite in the series, if I had to pick, would be Mist and Fury, but the entire series. I mean, it had to be my number one. I don't think anybody's surprised. I think if you're surprised at all, it's just the fact that I only read that within the last year. And it is all that is left of me. It's all I want to talk about. It's all I want to think about. It's all I want to read about. I mean, you know, in Mean Girls, that she talks about, what is it called? Word vomit. When she always wants to talk about Regina George, that's me with ACOTAR. Poor Sarah. If Sarah ever reads ACOTAR, it'll be because she just wants me to stop talking about it. It won't be because she actually wants to. It'll just be to make me shut up. Because I know no is a complete sentence, and I respect that in 99.99% of cases, but not this one. Not to hear that you're not going to read ACOTAR. I can't accept it. I just have to think when you say no to me for this one, for hearing that you don't want to read ACOTAR, all I'm hearing is I haven't thought of good enough reasons yet. So no is a complete sentence, people. In every other scenario in the entire world, no is a complete sentence. No is not a complete sentence when it comes to ACOTAR. I can't accept it. I'm so sorry. That is so horrible of me, but I can't accept it. I'm sorry. Please, just read the books. Give it a try. Cassian will forever be my favorite book man. I was talking to my friend about how we rank like different book boyfriends, if you want to call them that. Cassian's my number one, followed by Xaden. And then in the top, like the most popular books, I guess, because I love like Archer's voice. I loved Archer. But also, can he compete with Cassian and Xaden? Probably not. But I do love him. Like, he is on my book boyfriend shelf for sure. So Cassian, Xaden, and then 3 could go anyway. It could be Az if his book is good enough, but if he ends up with Elaine, done. He's not in the top 3. It could be Hunt from Crescent City. I love Hunt. You know, Becca loves Hunt. Sorry, Dorian and Cole don't do it for me. Rowan, I get it, but he's not for me. So it could also be Eris. I really think when we get more about Eris, which I hope we do. I mean, I guess technically we don't have to, but I hope we get more about Eris. I hope he gets his own book, honestly. He could very easily be 3. I love him and I know I shouldn't, but I do. I love Eris. So it's between them for the 3. Again, I think Az is a little bit in the lead. If he ends up with Elaine, he's dead to me. Sorry. He's dead to me. And I'll accept it. It's fine. But I won't like it. Yes, Mist and Fury out of the whole series is my favorite. Loved. Okay, I've said this also before. Feyre is not my favorite character, but I do love her growth. She does get to grow a lot in this book, but I love the found family. I love the inner circle. More's growth, I think. It's not that she grows, but she just becomes more honest with herself and Feyre, I guess. I love her character development. Amryn, I don't know. I just picture Edna mode. And I can't even talk about her without laughing. She really surprised me in the 3rd book, Amryn. Reese, I like him less after I really like him in Mist and Fury, and then in the other books, I like him a lot less. I think he is more manipulative than people want to acknowledge, and I do think he is kind of a dick to Feyre sometimes. And to everybody, really. I do think him and Nesta's relationship, though they hate each other, I do find that one funny, I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to think of other characters that I really... Like, the Inner Circle is it's a big one for me in the series. It's why I think I love this series so much. And not you guys know me, I'm a big romantic, so pretty much anything romantic will get me. I do really hope that when she releases more Agatar, we get a book, or maybe not a whole book, but like, I hope we get more for more. I hope we get more for Eris. I hope we get more for Az. I'm pretty sure it's like confirmed that the next book is Elaine's. I don't care. End up with Lucian. I could see her with Tamlin. I don't care. Just not Az. Just not Az. One, I think that's a cop-out to have all three main bad boys with all three sisters. Like, come on. But I really kind of want her with Tamlin. That's where I see this going. I think she's meant for the Spring Court. I think it would be interesting because I've told you I think Tamlin's mate was Amarantha. So I think it would be interesting to have this pairing who have both denied their mates and to see where that goes. End up with Lucian. Sweet Lucian. He deserves somebody. I think he deserves better than Elaine, but I think he deserves to be happy. And if he wants his mate, he should have his mate. But I like him with Vesa, I think is her name, the one witch that turns into a bird because she's with the sorcerer. I think that would be really interesting. She is human now. I mean, is she technically still human when because she turns into the bird? I don't know. I don't know if that's made her now something else, but I could see them together. I think it's been alluded that she and Jurian, is that his name? The guy that was the ring and is now a person. I think it's been alluded that they might be a thing, but I think she'd be better with Lucian. Elaine doesn't deserve any of these people. Maybe she will with some growth. You know, I'm all for that. Right now, no thank you. No, thank you. I would also take more of Cassian. I mean, I know technically Silver Flames was like his book, but you could just throw him in everywhere if you ask me. So just SJM, you could take that note if you want. Anyway, that's my top 5. So I'll just to recount. Phantasma was 5, Manacled was 4, Fourth Wing, specifically Onyx Storm, was 3, Crescent City, specifically Flame and Shadow, was 2, and Akatar, specifically Mist and Fury, was 1. So I went up. If you haven't read them, I highly suggest you do. Now, I thought it would be fun if we tried and guessed Becca's. So I have to pull up her top 12 that we made on Instagram, and then we're going to look. I'll tell you what all of them are, and we'll look at them together. So Becca's top 12 of 2025. I got to turn this down. It's super bright. Sorry. For January, she did Wicked King by Holly Black. Her next 3 months are all Throne of Glass books by SJM, Crown of Midnight, Empire of Storms, Kingdom of Ash. Then she did Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry, Heartless Hunter by Kristen Ciccarelli, maybe? House of Crescent City, House of Sky and Breath by SJM, Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, House of Flame and Shadow, Tasma, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and then Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli again, which I do believe, I haven't read this, but I do believe that and Heartless Hunter are a duology. So let's guess her top 5. Kingdom of Ash I know is in there. If I had to guess, that might be number 1. We're just going to guess her top. I don't know if I'm writing them down, but I don't know if I'm going to try and order them. We'll see. Heartless Hunter is in there for sure. She talks about that one a lot. Phantasma. I'm torn with Shield of Sparrows. I want to put it in. I think I'm going to put it in. And then for the last one, I think she liked Sky and Breath better than Flame and Shadow. So I'm going to put Sky and Breath. But I would say Crescent City, like not as a whole. She really didn't like the first one that much. But I'm going to put Sky and Breath over Flame and Shadow. I think she liked that one just like a smidge more by a hair. So her top 5, my guess. Kingdom of Ash, Heartless Hunter, Phantasma, Shield of Sparrows, Sky and Breath. If I'm going to put those in order, it's hard. If I'm going to put those in order, Kingdom of Ash, number 1. Phantasma, these are 2 I'm struggling with. Phantasma, number 2. And Heartless Hunter, number 3. But those might be switched. I'm really trying to think. Kingdom of Ash, number 1. I got that. Phantasma, then Heartless Hunter, but it could be Heartless Hunter, then Phantasma for her. And then I think Sky and Breath, or maybe that's just wishful thinking because I want it to have beaten more books for her. And then Shield of Sparrows. That's going to be my top 5 for her in that order if I had to guess. Kingdom of Ash, Phantasma, Heartless Hunter, A House of Sky and Breath, and Shield of Sparrows. And maybe I'll have to clip this part and post on Instagram if I got them right. We'll see. I'm fairly confident I got the top 5. I'm not as confident I got the order, but I'm fairly confident I got the top 5. We'll have to see. I don't know, Becca. Let me know. I didn't do quotes because 1, we've done episodes for some of these books. 2, we'll probably do episodes for books we haven't done. And 3, I've talked about 5. Well, I talked about more than 5 books technically because 3 of them were series, but I talked about 5. So that would be a lot to quote. So you could take, I didn't do a quote for each book. I felt like that would get all scrambled up and everything, and it was just too much. So I do think you should read all of these books. I think my top 5, obviously, and Becca's top 5 you should read. I thoroughly enjoyed all of them, all 5 stars. All my top 5 are 5 stars. All Becca's top 5 are 5 stars. Some of mine would even be 6 stars. I think some of Becca's might even be 6 stars. I loved them. I think you would love them also. Like I said, for Crescent City, if you don't love the first one all the way through, just keep going. Trust me. But everything else, I don't think there was I don't think it took me time to get into any of it. It didn't take me time to get into Crescent City, but I know it took other people time. So that's why I'm giving I guess it technically took Becca. Becca didn't love the first ACOTAR book. I did, though. I don't know. I really like world building, so I guess that's that. But read them. If you haven't read them, top 5 of the year, highly recommend. Now, I don't know what we're doing next time. I know we really want to get back to the Bridgerton books because we really do want to get to Benedict's book, which is book 3, even though this is season 4 of the show. We want to get to Benedict's book pretty soon. So we'd still have to do Anthony's, which is the Viscount Who Loved Me. And then it would be Benedict's. What's the name of Benedict's? I forget. But we have to do Anthony's and then still Benedict. So that might be the next ones that we put out. But I'm not sure. We'll let you guys know, I guess. But with that, until next chapter, stay cunning, stay brave, and remember you are your own high lady. Bye, guys.